Good morning, guys. It's the Saturday morning, early as 7, and this is a first time bloomer, an epiphytic and a lithophytic type of orchids, the Dendrobiums. These are mostly found in South and East Asia, between the two regions, in all of the countries, freely available, and growing this is nothing for us, right? Because this asks for the least amount of care. I'll show you how these double spikes have happened. It's a keiki which is giving me these double spikes, and there is a third keiki also in spike, hasn't bloomed yet. I'll go around and show you the phenomenon this has created, because none of my other Dendrobiums has done this, but for me to tell you that this has never bloomed for me before, the reason behind that is because I've been removing keikis. This is a practice we use when we need the plant to be more stable and the mother plant to bloom. But that was obviously the wrong decision, because in this case only the keikis would bloom, and I do not know the reason. This is in a total charcoal and lava rock media with 2 or 3 decorative pebbles on top just to keep it stable. They are not needed now, and I have planted this in one of the taller cement pots I've made pre-pandemic times. I was in a phase of doing all my pots on my own, but then all the shorter and wider cement pots you see are made by me. There are 2 more keikis which I suspect will also bloom, and I've initially bought this plant when it was this size. It came in a small clump with 2 or 3 plants together, and this has been in a charcoal mix for as long as I can remember, until I repotted this into this a long time back as its permanent place. You can see the top piece very tightly packed with roots. It's the same inside also, and the plant is not shaky or anything. It has a thorough root system. Normally Dendrobiums do have a very vigorous root structure which will take over the whole pot, and in a media like this which does not degrade, you can take the clump out and insert into another and fill in the gaps with more media if you need this to be repotted into another pot when this pot is outgrown. Currently this has plenty more room to grow, and there are several directions, but it's mostly towards that side. The pattern is all the new keikis and new plants have happened towards that side, and you can see that it has never bloomed before, because if it bloomed, you can see a leftover like this, a piece which sticking out. Here also you can see I have removed keikis, right, because I was so afraid that they will be like only producing keikis but not blooming. And I hardly fertilize this, but recently I've started fertilizing this with my organic fertilizer which made this bloom. This looks like an antelope type dendrobium, but it's not. But I love the color. So these are also made by me, and full of keikis from taller type that I've got. It's this, also made by me, and all the others have only bloomed from the top. And there's a spike over here. This new plant is quite huge, quite tall and wide, and has a media of bricks, charcoal and cocoa husk. This is cocoa husk, bricks and charcoal. So we can use any type of media because it's epiphytic. It just needs to hold on to a media so it can take off, and that's on a clay pot. So just to give this some, sorry for that, just to give this some sort of stability, I have laid the 2 spikes on a branch of this beach cherry, and it's getting partial shade from this, and I'm loving this. So this is in straight sun. If I turn around and show you, it's getting the full sun. There is no shade. Right. So if you want to know about fertilizing, I hardly fertilize. When the plant is matured, this will obviously bloom. That's the case for this. You can see that the leaves are very light in green because it has not hardened off. It's still a very new plant. This is my Peristeria alata, which is endangered now. So I've converted it to total cocoa husk. And that's about it for the Dendrobium Care. In a tropical climate, you can get away with anything. It does not need a lot of fertilizer, but more water and sunshine. That's the key for dendrobiums, easy care and blooming. I know I have subjected this for sunburn also, but it survived fine because these sunburns are only aesthetic issue. Otherwise It does not cause any problems for the plant because only spots are there from the sunburns. That's about it. If there are any questions regarding this, please let me know. I will not be removing the keikis. I'll remain the plant the same way after the spikes are done. And you can take the spikes off as closer to the stem as possible. So let's see what this plant does next. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good weekend. Bye.